Life Audio.
Welcome to our new God's Love for the Unlovable and Gospel Rant, Vagabond Diaries. You know this. We're getting great reviews. Thanks for listening. Thanks for passing this on. Yes, it's great to see an expanding audience. We're hitting something, some kind of nerve, some kind of interest. So pass this on to your church and Bible studies and family and see the kind of feedback you get. Send this to people who don't know Christ or people who've left churches. It's just a new way of learning about Jesus and to talk about the God's love for the unlovable, the unloved, and the unlovely. Yeah? So just keep that up, and we're going to keep doing these. In today's Vagabond Diary, meet Sarah. She's just doing what the strange street healer told her to do, even though it was going to cause, as you can see, quite a stir. All right, let's have some fun. Welcome to God's Love for the Unlovable and Gospel Rant. We'll get back to this week's Vagabond Diary after this message from our sponsors.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
What do you think of when you hear the name The Salvation Army? Helping people? Ringing bells at Christmas? Podcasts? Yes, the Salvation Army creates a network of podcasts in both English and Spanish. One of those shows, Words of Life, is a 15-minute weekly show featuring testimonies, interviews, and conversations about topics impacting the church today. On recent and upcoming episodes, we'll be joined by Dr. Craig Keener.
Christianity doesn't rise or fall on Christians. It rises or falls on Jesus Christ.
Bishop for the Global Methodist Church, Dr. Carolyn Moore.
I am consumed by the mind of Christ, and my heart gets broken for the things that break God's heart. I begin now to walk in power.
Nicole Eunice, Rachel Wojo, and more. Listen and subscribe to Words of Life wherever you listen to podcasts, or visit wordsoflifepodcast.org.
Excuse me, miss. Sir, said the confused caretaker. What are you doing in the baptistry? What did you call it? A baptistry? Does that mean it's just for Baptist? Excuse me. Oh, no, that's just what it's for, baptisms. But not what you're doing, I think. Baptisms? I'm not sure what those are, but I'm washing myself. I'm bathing in this plexiglass tub just like I was told to do. Who told you to? That's a good question. He never mentioned his name. He just said, go and wash in the pool behind the stage of First Baptist down the block, and you'll be healed. I usually don't listen to people off the street. An irony, I suppose. We street professionals can be a bit guarded and cynical, and you'd be surprised how many people say the most hurtful things. I tell myself that I'm used to it, but I'm human too. She continued to wash herself with a rag that looked like an old shredded t-shirt, maybe, fully immersed in the baptistry, as naked as the day she was born. The janitor wondered about this sight. Being on staff at an inner-city church, he had seen a lot of crazy things, but this beat them all. He stood with his back to her, feeling like he had to do something, but this was, beyond awkward. Sarah stood 5'10" or so. Her layered auburn wig was tossed upon the pencil skirt, white blouse, and high-heeled shoes that were ignominiously piled on the beautiful tiled floor nearby. Her makeup was very thick and over the top, her eyeliner running in the cold water of the baptistry. A delicate silver necklace with a small pendant caught the light as she moved clumsily around the 10-by-10 vessel. Bernard suspected that Sarah was a man, at least at some point, but that was none of his business. The baptistry was, and service was about to begin. Like I said, he did what he could to avert his eyes. Naked is naked, and he felt very awkward having this confrontation or conversation or whatever it was. His face was permanently red from all the blushing. Hey, miss, he said to break the tension. Bernard was a fire plug of a guy, short and wide, with a growing bald pate accentuated by deep red beard and stunning handlebar mustache. He had 3 children of his own, each about the age of the person swimming in First Baptist's very expensive new baptistry. Oh, the other thing about Bernard is that he was very Scottish. I don't know your name. I'm Bernard. I work here. Oh, hey, Bernard, you're cute, she said with a smirk and a slight wave of her tattooed hands. I'm Sarah. I work at the corner of 5th and Main. Have we ever? Oh, no. I'm really sure we haven't, Bernard struggled to say without offense. Okay, your loss, said Sarah matter-of-factly. So tell me again, said Bernard with as little emotion or sense of urgency as he could muster. This guy came up to you and he told you to come here. Yeah, at my corner. It was slow today with Comic-Con and all. Bernard wondered why Comic-Con would reduce her business, but quickly rejected going down that rabbit hole. He had the most compassionate eyes I've ever seen, she continued. He had that look, you know. I've never seen it before. There was no criticism or looking down, no anything. He seemed just very glad to see me, to talk with me. You may be surprised, I don't get that a lot. A friend says that we have been objectified. What she means is that most men and women, for that matter, see us as objects, you know, not persons, and it changes us. We kind of become lifeless objects, you know, like Legos, you know, but for sex. Anyway, he saw me. Roger, Beth, now, sometimes I forget the whole, he waved his large hands over his chest, the whole tranny thing, but he saw me. It was the opposite of what being objectified feels like. You know, I will tell you that it felt amazing. You know, a little bit like Crank. I still have to shake my head to see if it's real. There are a lot of people out there who just objectify us or use us and throw us away like we were nothing, you know, like recyclable trash, you know? She said objectify really slowly in a staccato manner, like she was still getting used to the big word. Judging by the scars on her back and wrists, other words might have been used and been more to the point. Okay, said Bernard, trying to regroup the conversation. So this good guy who you don't know finds you at your place of business. He treats you very well. Does he want to score? Oh, no. And this will sound crazy. He just rubbed his hands in the gutter, scooped up some nasty muddy water, and poured it all over my wig. Then told me to come here and bathe. And you'll be healed. Yes, that's it. Can I ask, healed from what? Yeah, I thought about that too. I get regular checkups from my fancy man. I'm very clean. I take great pride in that. No sores or nothing. I've had all my shots. So what did he mean? Oh, don't you see? To be healed from my objectification. She said it again, staccato-like, with eyes furrowed, a grand flourish, and she meant it. It was Sunday, and unfortunately the service was going to start in a few minutes. The noise had attracted the attention of some others, a few deacons and one of the pastors, and a couple of elderly women who had come in early to help set up quarterly communion. They stood in shock as they watched the naked man swimming in the baptismal. Bernard, what's going on? The service is about to start, and they need to leave, exclaimed one of the older deacons, who was also averting his gaze. How horrible, blurted one of the ladies. He's a prostitute and he's in our water. What do we do? Hello, I'm right here, dearie. I prefer the term street worker, if you don't mind. I was told to come here to your bathtub. Bernard waved his outstretched arms downward to calm everybody down as much as he could. I think it was the street evangelist who calls himself Jesus who sent it to us and our baptistry. His name is Jesus. You mean like the Christmas guy? Well, huffed the pastor. Roscoe was the associate minister of couples at first. He had recently joined the staff from a rural church halfway across the country. He had a master's in evangelism and discipleship from an esteemed historical Baptist university. "The guy is a scourge," he blurted out definitively. "He calls himself Jesus, but he has no denominational authority. He's not on staff anywhere, and he will not sit down with the board to answer our theological questions." He turned to Sarah carefully to look her directly in the eyes. "Tell me who he is. Do you think that he is Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God? Is that what you're telling us?" "How the hell would I know? You seem smart. Isn't that your lane? All I can tell you is that he scooped up some gutter runoff, poured it over my head, and told me to come here and bathe, and that's what I'm doing." "And why did he do that silliness?" "Well, of course, so that I would be healed, silly." "Healed of this?" he said dismissively with a wave of his backhand over her torso and privates, clearly referring to her sexuality. "Well, all I can say is that for maybe the first time in my life, I feel like a beautiful, attractive person. I feel lovable. I feel, what's the right word? I feel worthy of respect. That's a very new thing for me. You have no idea." Bernard broke in. "She told me that maybe she will be healed of the deep scarring residue of a life of objectification." "What?" exclaimed the pastor. "A whore now feels good about themselves? Is that what we've come to? What in the world is this false teacher doing out there?" One of the elderly ladies chirped in with a disgusted, judgmental tone. "Well, did this false Jesus tell you to repent of your many sins?" The street worker paused, truly considering the question. "First, honey, I have no idea what you're talking about. Second, no, he just told me to come here and be healed. I just figured that you people would know more about that. Aren't you with him?" "Does it look like we're with him?" the lady quipped argumentatively. "Bernard, clean up all of this now," barked Pastor Roscoe. "Replace the water and get rid of this sinner. Now we're about to start worship." Later that evening, Sarah was walking down the street and saw Jesus again. She ran and hugged him. He hugged her back. "So, I did what you said. It was great. I mean, I guess I don't know what I mean. I feel different. Do you know? I'm not as angry as I was at that bastard stepfather of mine, Craig, or all the other objectifiers, you know." "Do you believe in me, daughter?" asked Jesus succinctly. "I'm not sure what that means. But if you mean, do I want to follow you wherever you go? Then yes, definitely. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm in. Honestly, none of the decisions I've made in my life have done anything to heal me or make me feel beautiful to anyone. Not really, but you did." "Then follow me, my new daughter," said Jesus with a broad smile and eyes lit up, "and you will experience things that you have never dreamed of, but have been longing for all of your life. Oh, and you should know, I will take care of your stepfather, I promise." The end. Let's talk about this after a few words from our sponsors.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
What do you think of when you hear the name The Salvation Army? Helping people? Ringing bells at Christmas? Podcasts? Yes, the Salvation Army creates a network of podcasts in both English and Spanish. One of those shows, Words of Life, is a 15-minute weekly show featuring testimonies, interviews, and conversations about topics impacting the church today. On recent and upcoming episodes, we'll be joined by Dr. Craig Keener.
Christianity doesn't rise or fall on Christians. It rises or falls on Jesus Christ.
Bishop for the Global Methodist Church, Dr. Carolyn Moore.
I am consumed by the mind of Christ, and my heart gets broken for the things that break God's heart. I begin now to walk in power.
Nicole Eunice, Rachel Wojo, and more. Listen and subscribe to Words of Life wherever you listen to podcasts, or visit wordsoflifepodcast.org.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Here are some dialogue starters I thought about. First of all, pushback. What are you thinking? Second, did it shine some light on the miraculous healings of Jesus? And what jumped off the page to you, and how did that change your life, maybe? If you like this Vagabond Diary, please like and subscribe and forward the link to a friend. Check out my award-winning fantasy books, Kingdom Quest Trilogy, Tale of the Unlikely Prince, Storyteller's Tale, Garden Tale. A new one's on the way, The Tale of the Unwanted Orphan. They're available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Check out my author page, drbillsenior.com. I've also published a new sequel in the Women's Bible Study series, Dance Daughters of the Most High. This will be book 2. Fun, informative, interesting, provocative. We look at 7 underappreciated, misunderstood, and overlooked women in the Old Testament. You'll hear about Tamar, the maligned widow, the many faces of Rebecca, 2 women, unlikely women, who saved the Jews from genocide. Their stories are amazing, should be out there. Great for Bible studies, book clubs, men and women, by the way. Check it out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and drbillsenior.com. Take heart, child of God.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.